Okay, to add the main variables to your causal map, you'll need to start by logging in to theorymaps.com. And then once you're logged in, click on the Theories tab and click New Theory. Then click Add Variable and type in #, say P for positive interdependence, and you'll see that the variables have already been added to the database. So you click Add, okay. Then do likewise for the remaining variables. So let's say level of learning achieved by group. And once all the variables are added, link them to tell us which of the 5 variables you believe to directly as well as indirectly affect level of learning. So to link them, you have to drag the causal variable on top of the affected variable. And if you believe that the relationship is a positive relationship, what you can do is click on the link and select positive. So if we increase positive interdependence, we increase level of learning. If for some reason you think there's a negative relationship, that is, increasing positive interdependence decreases level of learning, you would click negative. And when you click update, you'll see that the arrow changes from green to red. Other things you can also do is, if you have found studies that show strong correlations between the 2 variables, or say they found large effect sizes, you can specify a value from 0 to 1 in this field here. And if you think there's a strong relationship and you enter 1, what happens is that the thickness of the link is increased to convey the strength values. If you found that the relation was very weak, 0.1, click update, and you'll see that the line is very thin. And also, if there's empirical literature to show that the relationship was not found to be statistically significant, click that box, and you'll see that that relationship is conveyed with the use of a dotted line. Now the next step then is to add at least 1 or 2 other variables from your personal theory map that you believe to directly affect or impact each of the 5 main variables. So for example, if you believe that time constraints is an important variable, well, if you decrease the amount of time students have to complete the project, then I believe that students' positive interdependence is increased, because students have to rely on each other. They must divide up the work to ensure that the task is completed within the time limit. So to add your personal variable, you click Add Variable button, put in a # so that the variable will be entered into the database, and so that other students in class will be able to find it and use the same variable in their maps. Type in time constraints, and in this case we already see that this variable has been added to the database. But if you were to add your own variable, make sure you put in the #, type in time constraints, and whatever it is you type in here will be added to the database. But since this variable already exists, we can then simply click Add, and we feel that there's a negative relationship, right? So we'll need to drag that time constraints on top of positive interdependence, click on the causal link and change that to negative, click update, and in essence then we've completed our map. Okay, and one final step to make sure that everyone else will be able to view and compare our maps, you have to click the Add Description button and type in collaborative learning. And make sure you type that in letter for letter. Also add that to the tag field, click Save, and you are finished. Now, to compare your map to other students' maps, you'll need to click on the Theories tab, And then the easiest way to compare other students' maps is then to click on collaborative learning, and as we can see, we have 3 maps that are entered under this category at the time. Click on that, and you'll see that these maps are all shown here on one page, and the best way to compare them is to click the concept matrix button. And what you will see is the list of all the variables that have been considered in all 3 of the maps at this time, and links to each of those 3 maps are then listed here on the left column. So this table here tells me that all 3 maps have level of learning variable in their maps, and if we want to see how or look for differences in the way these variables are linked to this level of learning variable, we can then just mouse over it, the link. And here we see that in theory 1, positive interdependence points to level of learning. In this map, let's see, if we click on it, I think we can get a larger picture of the map. There we go. In this map, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different variables are linked to level of learning. And in this map, we see 1 variable, synergistic effort, is linked to level of learning. So, if you have questions, please post them to the question and answer discussion forum, and I look forward to seeing everyone's maps and to seeing the discussions that are triggered in your attempts to compare the maps, and also seeing how our discussions are helpful in determining how to improve and refine your causal maps and your personal theories as to the variables that affect how students succeed in collaborative learning assignments.